Okay, Pete. This isn't the best video on the left. It's not at high speed, but it's going to serve the purpose. And we haven't talked a whole lot about swing plane. Um, my methodology kind of works in this order. First, it's impact. It's getting the good impact angles that lowercase y at impact. And then the second thing is the pivot, how the legs act and how you want to use your legs. And then the third thing is the plane. Um, Plane's important. I mean, absolutely. There's a common denominator with all the good players, and but you can get by with some stuff in the plane and pad until you get the other stuff fixed. However, I want to go ahead and address one thing here because this is easy to fix. It just takes quite a while to do it. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here with what I call the initial shaft plane, and that's just the line. If I draw a line from the hosel up through the shaft, up through the player's hip, that's what we call the initial shaft plane. And you're not trying to swing the club on that line, but because you can't keep the shaft on it the whole time. Hopefully you keep it on the way back. It goes up a little bit above it, and then for most players it drops down just a little bit. But you're going to hear me refer to hands in, club head out, and that means that the hands are either on that line or under it, and the club head is either on that line or above it. You won't see too many good players on the tour anyway that play from the position I'm getting ready to show you. All right, when I stop you at P2, you can see that the club head is actually about right there. It's not even in the frame. Okay. We look over here at Jeff. You can see his hands work right up that line, and the club head's just a little bit above it. Okay. From this angle, whoever was shooting this video, I'd rather him be over to the left just a little bit, but for the most part. And you can see, if you remember, I said there's three things that the hands, arms, and shoulders do in the takeaway. The shoulders turn, the forearms rotate, and the wrist cocks upward. Well, you start off kind of behind the eight ball because your grip is so strong. Look at the back of your left hand. Look where it's pointing. All right. You can't see it, but Jeff Oglevy's, I'll guarantee you, matches his club head. But there's a lot of pros that teach at P2, they want the club head to be square to the arc. Okay? Or they want it to actually match the spine angle. It'll be pretty close to it. Alright. For me, I'd like to see your toe just straight up and down. Okay? So as we move through the swing, okay, when you get to P3, now Hank Haney, he teaches at this point that the shaft should be parallel to the original shaft plane. I don't really care so much about that. Most of the good players you see on tour are somewhere between where Jeff's at and that green line that I just drew. Okay? So you're not bad, but you've rolled it so far inside that you're fighting it the whole way. Okay? So there's your P3, and then there's Jeff's P3. Alright, so here's where you get in trouble. Look at the club face. It's almost pointing behind you. Okay? And most good players, you're going to see that club face matches the left arm. So look where his change. Green means good. So there's his club face. There's his left arm. And you're going to start to notice that all these lines are all parallel, for the most part, parallel to that original shaft plane. Okay? And look how low your left arm is. It's around your body. Okay? See how low it is? It should be just, I say it should be. It's easier if your left arm is just a little bit, not with your shoulders a little bit above. Okay, you look at Jeff's. His is a little bit lower, but it matches his shoulder tilt. So there's your shoulder tilt, and here's your left arm. So they're not on the same plane either. So it's a fight to begin with. Okay. Now I'm gonna take all this, clean all this junk up, and go back and address one more thing here. We talk about tilts and spine angles and all that good stuff. All right. What you like to see, for the most part, especially with the irons, is the shaft plane and your spine angle almost at a 90-degree angle. And he's going to swing around that. Hopefully, his left ear is going to, that green line is never going to come out of his ear. Okay. So you got a great setup, and maybe a little close to it. All right, so let's look and see how Jeff rotates around this spine. Okay, so he's moving just a little, but for the most part, he rotates around that or parallel to it the whole way. See how he's still got a pretty good spine angle right there. Still got it, and then he comes out of it way late in the swing. See how his arms are still pretty straight, his right arm. Alright, let's see what Mr. Sleeves does here. Okay, do a great job. You kind of go forward a little bit, drop down, and this is kind of where everything gets kind of jammed up because you don't have any extension. So as far as spine angle and stuff goes, that's pretty darn good, especially with your irons. You wouldn't strike the ball if you were moving around up and down. You know, that's a problem for me because I've had 2 back surgeries and my core is not strong. This is all about core strength. So I'd like to see you rotate that forearm, that left forearm less. Get that club up here. You should, your hands in the club, you should be able to put them both in that circle right there. If you miss it, it's okay if the club head's up in here somewhere. That's what we saw with Oglevy over here on the left. Okay. All right. So, and then obviously at the top, I want to see the club face. Your left arm be pretty close to matching up. And I can show you some drills. Actually, you kind of fix this in your waggle. I mean, look at that right there. No wonder you hit it all over the place with your driver. You can get by with this with your short to mid irons, but you won't be able to get by with it. So I'm going to send you another little outline or some bullet points. So great job, man. I look forward to working with you, and see you next time.